You can look at someone's feed and the last 6 videos, just at quick glance, will all have over 1 million views. But then you scroll back and suddenly realize, they've just had a really viral series that's just hit off. But in actual fact, prior to that, they were only getting these sorts of numbers. Yeah. And that's probably one scenario where I'd say you need to wait a little bit longer to reach out to that creator.
Zesty.
Chunky! I am just intrigued, like, what is the... Say someone's looking at a you said like a CPM model.
An assumed CPM.
That's what they need to be looking at. It's like, all right, because, we've spoken about a lot, like... Some creators have 1 million followers and they can't even crack 10K views. Where most people look is the followers, unfortunately. Yeah. And they go, oh, he's got 1 million followers. It's like, cool, but 10,000 people might see their shit. Versus someone like yourself who only has 150,000, but then you get 60, 70,000 views. What would you say is a more important thing for an artist to look at, to evaluate whether or not they should be even thinking about paying you?
I think it's important to look at both, because ultimately you want to sit somewhere in that middle ground where you have people who have the follow account. So the general public look at them and go, oh, they're an authority in this space. I'll follow what they're suggesting, or I'll listen to the music that they listen to because I want to be like them. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that they've got the views to properly support you and what you're trying to advertise. So finding that middle ground, I think, is very important in the space. And to do that, even to try and find the middle ground with views, is difficult. Like, you can look at someone's feed and the last 6 videos, just at quick glance, will all have over 1 million views. But then you scroll back and suddenly realize, they've just had a really viral series that's just hit off. But in actual fact, prior to that, they were only getting these sorts of numbers. Yeah. And that's probably one scenario where I'd say you need to wait a little bit longer to reach out to that creator, just to see where they level off after that. They might explode and keep growing, which is great. Unfortunately, then you may have to pay a larger fee, but you know that the return will be greater. Yeah, exactly. And so, looking at the actual metrics and analytics of things that have gone through and videos that have been posted already, I would say is more important than just going for a really high follow account. Yeah.
It's actually interesting because when you were saying that, I thought of something else. Like, we touch on a lot, like, artists need to know who they're talking to. Like, because if they know their market, they can ask you who your market is. Like, so for example, our friend Nat Elise, like, she is typically younger female audience. If I'm a hip hop artist,
might not work.
Probably not best to reach out to her.
No.
Yeah.
And like, luckily she's aware of that. Like, she knows her market and she's pretty on it. But there's other people who don't. And if you're reaching out to someone going, man, they got 1 million followers, great. Like, their followers are all 12-year-old girls, and you're dropping some fucking song about, smacking a bitch up. Like, probably not going to be the best audience for your market. Yeah. So whereas you'd be better suited to someone who is, I don't know, a bit more on the edge and whatever, and has mostly a male market who's only got 100,000 followers. You know, like, I mean,
and maybe they're creating hip hop dance type music, or maybe they've got some form of car content which is revolving around music or something along those lines. Just find something that's similar to your brand and your music and style as well. And that's really where you'll see the most success anyway, because you'll see most people viewing their content and going, oh yeah, I relate to that. I'm going to switch and listen to their music. Yeah. And that's really where the conversion comes then. Yeah. And yeah, the closer you can get your demographic and audience to their demographic and audience, the better return you have.